My multimillionaire father has a disturbing way of testing the men I date. He leaves a $60,000 watch in the bathroom to see if they'll take it. To the outside world, my father is a philanthropist and a business legend. But inside our mansion, he's a paranoid man who believes everyone has a price, especially the men I bring home. He's convinced that any man I date is just a gold digger in disguise, waiting for the right moment to grab a piece of his empire. He's already ruined 3 of my relationships using this test. The first one was a doctor, the second was a lawyer, the third was a business owner. All of them saw the watch, and all of them failed. One tried to hide it, one said he never saw it, the third touched it, and then lied. My father always did the same thing after. He would walk back into the dining room with that slight smile, pull out his phone, and show the GPS tracker on the watch. Then he would throw them out, always before dessert. At first, I used to cry, but after the third time, I understood something. My father didn't want me to be happy. He wanted to be right. Then I met Caleb. Caleb was different. He teaches history at a public high school and spends his weekends volunteering at a community kitchen. He lives in a small studio apartment and drives a car that's older than mine. When I told my father I was bringing Caleb to dinner, he didn't even look up from his newspaper. "I'll have the watch ready," he said. I felt my chest tighten. "Please stop doing this," I told him. "Caleb isn't interested in your money." My father just laughed. "Everyone cares about money, sweetheart," he said. "Some people are just better at hiding it than others." The night of the dinner felt heavy. We sat in the formal dining room, surrounded by gold-framed portraits and crystal chandeliers. My father was unusually quiet, watching Caleb carefully. Caleb didn't seem to notice. Or if he did, he didn't show it. He cut his food calmly and ate without any rush. "Is it good?" I asked, just to say something. "It's really good," he said. "Who cooked this?" I told him it was the same woman who had been working for us for years. He nodded. "You can tell she cares," he said, and kept eating. Simple. That was Caleb. Halfway through dinner, my father stood up. He said he needed to check something and walked toward the hallway. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was placing the watch, that same $60,000 watch, right on the edge of the sink in the guest bathroom. I stayed sitting across from Caleb, holding my fork, feeling that familiar pressure in my chest, that feeling when you already know exactly what's about to happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. The dining room felt too quiet after that. The chandelier light reflected on the table, on the glasses, on the framed portraits around us. Everything looked exactly the same as always, but I could feel it, that tension, that moment right before everything falls apart. Caleb finished his plate and leaned back slightly, his eyes moving toward one of the portraits on the wall. "Who is that?" he asked, nodding toward an old painting in a gold frame. "My great-grandfather," I said. "He came here with nothing." Caleb looked at it for a few seconds. "Your dad keeps it there to remember that?" "I'm not sure," I said. "Sometimes I think he only remembers what he has now." Caleb looked at me. He didn't say anything right away, but something in his expression shifted. Not pity, something closer to understanding. "You okay?" he asked. "Yes," I said. I was lying. He didn't push it. That was also Caleb. He knew when to stop. A few minutes later, my father came back into the room. He walked in like always, like everything was under control before he even sat down. He adjusted his napkin, picked up his glass, everything precise. "Sorry about that," he said. "Something I had to check." "No problem," Caleb replied. My father looked at him. It was a quick look, but complete. Like he could read everything about someone in a few seconds. "Caleb," my father said, in that tone that sounds casual but isn't. "How long have you been teaching?" "8 years. Always history?" "Yes." "Doesn't it get repetitive?" Caleb placed his glass down. "No," he said. "The students change every year. The subject stays the same, but the questions don't." My father smiled. That same small smile. The one he uses when he thinks he understands someone. Dinner continued. My father kept asking questions that sounded normal on the surface. About salary, about future plans, about whether he ever thought of doing